Welcome, everyone, to episode 418 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Will.
Today's topic, with the imminent release of Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I guess for those of you like me who are going to stay up and play it past midnight, it's only one more night until we get to play it. So me and Will figured it was a good time to cover our favorite strategy RPGs. That being a underutilized genre. Am I right?
Yeah, when we do episodes like this, I like to look online and see what everybody else is thinking. And I didn't see too much variance on the different types of IPs. It's like fairly standard. You'll hear all of them that we talk about, like between the Final Fantasies and the Fire Emblems that we're going to talk about. Like it's like that and like a couple other franchises.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of surprises there.
No, not at all.
It's a lot of games we've already talked about. There's a handful that I was like, I've never heard of that game, or that sort of thing, or I didn't remember this or that game. But yeah, for the most part, it's stuff we've played a lot.
Yeah,
and I think it was you, Will, that said, or maybe one of your friends said a couple weeks ago that every IP should have its own strategy role playing game. Because we were talking about the Gears Tactics game, that's what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember who said it, but no, that's a good point. Every IP should have its own tactics game. I think it works well and can be done with pretty much any IP.
Yeah, a tactics game of some sort would be great from every IP.
I could see a Warriors game and a tactics game for pretty much every.
Oh, Warriors game too. Yeah, that's a good thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to tease for later on the episode?
Not really. Honestly, I've been so excited for Fire Emblem. It's been hard to play anything.
Yep, I've been in the same boat.
I played a little of Persona 5 just like an hour ago, and then I've been playing Final Fantasy 15 to kind of get me to that point. But yeah, I've been so excited to play Fire Emblem that I kind of been having a hard time playing anything.
Yeah. That's actually how I've been too. So I've only really played Mario Maker and then Dr. Mario World. I did play a little bit of Breath of the Wild though, so I'll talk very briefly about that. It brought me back in finally. It was only a matter of time before it happened, but it finally did happen. Luckily, Fire Emblem's coming out, so I'm not gonna stick with it for now.
Yeah,
nice.
You'll be playing a new hardy RPG.
Yeah, exactly.
I should say sorry, my voice is going. I don't know why, but it's if you're wondering why I sound funny right now, that's why.
All right. Well, I'll let you get started. What's the first game on your list?
My first one is actually my first introduction to Fire Emblem, and it was Fire Emblem Awakening. I think this came on your recommendation, right, Dan? You were the first one to play it on the podcast.
I don't remember. I know it came out, and I don't know if I didn't have a 3DS when it came out, but I ended up playing it later, and I was blown away by it. It's also on my list. It's actually up at number 2. But yeah, go ahead.
Wait, do we have these? Are we having this in a top 5 order?
It doesn't matter. I just ranked mine, but you can rank them or not. It's up to you.
I can rank it at the end when I go over all of them. But yeah, I don't remember who played it first. Maybe it was Corey. I don't know. Somebody played Fire Emblem Awakening first on this podcast, said it was amazing. So I played it, and boy, I loved Fire Emblem Awakening. I guess this is the Fire Emblem game that kind of saved the franchise. This was the one that they were marketing because the Fire Emblem games weren't doing that well.
Yeah.
Sales-wise out here in the West. So this was like kind of the last-ditch effort, and a lot of things they did really stuck. I like the sim aspect to the games that they have, like where they have the romances and like the warrior communications where you talk to the different things and grow their affinity for each other, which then gives on-field battle bonuses and stuff like that. They did a lot of really cool things with the game, and I liked the whole story behind it. I liked Robin and Chrom and all those characters, Lucina.
Yeah, when I found out who Lucina was, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
The first time I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
Yeah, because you get the time travel kind of weird like sci-fi-ness to it, to a fantasy game.
Yeah.
And that just makes it really cool, and like how the different kids are in the game and how they're interacting with their younger version of their parents. There's just a lot of really cool things going on in that game. And then you're all together at the end trying to destroy the big boss at the end. So it was the first one that I ever really got into, and I think it was a great game all around, and I
Yeah.
really think very highly of Fire Emblem Awakening. And
Yeah, and as much as I liked Fates and thought Fates was good, I didn't think Fates was anywhere close to as good as Fire Emblem Awakening. Fire Emblem Awakening, like I said, there was a lot of parts of it that blew my mind, you know. And I, like you, I had not had any experience with the series. It didn't sell all that well here. If you tried to go back and get a Fire Emblem game now, they're super expensive. If you can find them, they're super expensive.
yeah.
And no guarantee that those are going to work either. So
Hmm.
because it's like GameCube. There was one on the Wii, but yeah, they weren't commercial successes here. Which we have a big population here in the U.S. So
Fate suffered from bad localization and storytelling.
mm-hmm.
It was a little too incestual
Sure,
for my liking, a little uncomfortable here and there. Stuff like that. So like Fates is the one that people don't look too fondly on right now.
mm-hmm.
People really liked Awakening for the most part, and I guess Three Houses, from everything I've heard, is going to be quite the game. So
Yeah, I guess reviews start dropping tomorrow for Three Houses.
I haven't seen anything negative. I don't know if it's just because like my rose tinted glasses just haven't looked in the right places, but I haven't seen anything negative about the
No,
game.
nor have I from the people haven't given out reviews, but they'll give. I got a couple like first impressions and stuff, and it's all been pretty positive.
Did you know? Do you know what house you're picking?
No, I don't know anything about them. I want to go in with a blank slate, not knowing. I can't. I couldn't even tell you the names right now. That's how much I wanted to like not know about the game.
I've been going back and forth for the last 3 weeks. I finally settled on where I'm going, so
Okay.
pretty
You,
excited.
you could say the name. I won't. It won't make any difference to me.
I'm going Black Eagles.
Black Eagles. Okay.
Yeah, I went. I at different points was like I'm going the different house, but then I finally settled on Black Eagles
Mm-hmm.
last night. It's like I'm
Nice.
doing it. It's the one.
Okay.
But yeah, so my first one's Fire Emblem Awakening. Once again, I replay this game every so often. I think very highly of it. It's one of the best strategy RPG games in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yep. So the first game on my list at number 5 is Mountain Blade Warband.
Mm-hmm.
Mountain Blade Warband is so good.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that holds it back from being like a huge critical success. I think is the jankiness of it. It's a very janky RPG, but it to me it's lovingly janky.
It's not
loving,
bad janky. It's
right.
Funny, good janky.
Yes, it's lovingly janky, and I wrote that in my notes. But it's an amazing game. It's also got a great Game of Thrones mod. If you were into Game of Thrones, the Game of Thrones mod for it's spectacular. But it's a great mix of elements. So it's got an overworld that you move around on and move to different areas. It's got first or third person combat. It's got a lot of troop management. You raise your stats. It's got deep systems. It's a truly impressive game. I think it came out in about 2008. I'm really looking forward to the sequel, Mountain Blade Bannerlord. If that ever comes out, I haven't really seen much about that, but yeah, Mountain Blade Warband is excellent, and if you can find it cheap, I think it might be on Xbox and the PlayStation now too.
I think it is. Yeah.
So you could
I
definitely
know
play it that way.
No, it's definitely on Steam, but I think it is on consoles at this point now. Yeah.
It would be great on the Switch.
I think it's cheap too. I don't think it's that much money.
No, I think if you were to buy it on like Steam or whatever, at full price, it's like $20, but you can definitely find it cheaper than that.
Let's see. Warband is $20.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair price for it. I'm sure I got mine cheaper. I'm pretty sure I got it on a Steam sale at some point, and it was pretty inexpensive. So
The Bannerlord looks pretty cool, and there's a Steam listing, so who knows?
yeah, I would love for that to come out this year.
I feel like
That'd be great.
I feel like when we do like our anticipated episode or our anticipated games episode, it's always like it might be coming this year, you know,
Yeah,
for a couple of years. I don't know what's taking them so long. It's a small studio, probably.
yeah. But yeah, Mountain Blade Bannerlord, give it a shot.
Yeah.
Quite good. What do you got next, Will?
My next one is not necessarily for my sake, but I think Corey would go crazy if I didn't put it on here. Divinity Original Sin 2.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is the quintessential strategy RPG in the modern era. I feel like this game's right up my alley. I don't know why I haven't really played it yet, but everything that I've seen from it and from how Corey talks about it, it looks like the perfect game.
Yeah, it's
Destructible
amazing.
environments and stuff like that. And so many cool stuff, different ways you can customize each character, a lot of abilities.
Not just that, but that game. One of the things that game does better than most other games that I can play is having being able to solve the game's like puzzles and stuff in a million different ways.
Hmm.
It just seems like anytime you are coming to a story beat and you need to have something done, like there's a lot of different ways you can accomplish your goals in that game, which I really really like.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like the cool thing. Like I just saw some gameplay where like you can burn a house down and like it collapses on the enemies and kills them and stuff like that. Like that's just a really cool way that you can um go through a battle in the game. And a lot of these strategy RPGs like a Fire Emblem and a couple others we'll talk about later don't really have environmental
Mm-mm.
stuff. The most you can do is like maybe dash them off of a building and
Yeah,
do fall damage to them, but like that's about it. Where this game has just so much you can do, and you can play with friends too, which is another cool thing that they added into it. I should make it my goal to play it this year because I feel like I would love this game.
yeah, absolutely, and that's one I actually regret not finishing. I I played it and loved it, and I don't know if something else came out or what, but I haven't. It's also kind of hard to play games on my computer anymore. It's
Yeah, yeah, that's the
so that's part of it, especially with how old it's getting. I need it to live for a little while longer until I can afford to replace it because that's how I do the podcast. That's how I do all my game videos that I do.
yeah,
I don't want to kill it, you know. So
yeah. No, I'm with you, Dan. My PC is getting long in the tooth here, and I want
yep,
a new one, but no money to be able to actually do that right now.
yep,
So,
yep.
um, but yeah, Divinity Original Sin 2, I wanted to give a shout out because I feel like the game's deserving.
hmm Uh, Developed by Larian, who
Hmm.
is going to be doing the Baldur's Gate 3. So there's also
Which
that.
should be an awesome game.
Yes, it should. Next on my list is Valkyria Chronicles 4. So this is a recent one, a recent edition. It is a return to form for the Valkyria Chronicles series. I really loved the first one. I guess Valkyria Chronicles 2 and 3 were not as good. Straight away from the standard formula. I have no experience with them. I couldn't tell you anything about them, but good story, good characters, incredible setting. Really, the whole steampunky like World War II setting is done so well in that game.
Hmm.
Um, it's got a unique battle system, which I also really like. It's turn based, uh, but you're moving around like as much as you want, and then it's also got a little bit of a skill element because you have to like actually aim your shots and stuff. So yeah, it's really really unique game, and that's got fully upgradable gear. You can upgrade and equip your soldiers to your heart's content. So there's a lot of elements there. I love Valkyria Chronicles 4. I think I spent like 50 some odd hours beating it, but it was amazing. So,
So for reference, I have the first one on my list because I haven't played the
hmm
fourth one. Totally with you on that. I love this franchise, and I wish it got more. Like, it's a shame that we can't play two or three. Like, it's
yeah.
hard to play them. Like, they're on like the PSP and
I think one of
whatever,
them, yeah, I think are they both? Yeah, they might both be on PSP actually now that I think about it. At least one of them is.
which is baffling
It's a shame.
that that was a decision that they're like, yeah, let's do this. But no, I just like the concept of like you get this overview on the map and then you zoom in on the character and then you can move them around to wherever you want. Like,
hmm
but you only can go so far with their meter and like you can get behind cover and shoot your guns and stuff like that. Like it's just really, really cool game. And I love it. So I'm glad you had it on your list too.
Oh yeah. What do you got next, Will?
I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room. Final Fantasy
Of
Tactics.
course. That's what I have playing in the stream right now because that was an
Yeah,
obvious choice.
yeah. Like when you said this episode, Dan, I was like, well, I know Tactics is gonna be on there. I know Fire Emblem's gonna be on there.
Yep.
I mean, we've talked about this game ad nauseum, and this game still tops my top games of all time list. I usually play it every year. I haven't played it yet this year, but the depth to the game is awesome. I love the story elements of the game. The music is awesome. Everything about it I love and adore. And I wish we would get a true sequel.
I know.
Instead of that,
I keep hoping, but
I liked Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced 1 and 2, but they don't do the job like Final Fantasy Tactics the original did.
yeah, I mean, I feel like one of the coolest things about all the systems aside was the religious story. Like you just don't see that much in games. You know, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I still think it's one of my favorite stories in games. Like what? And sure, if people want to be like, oh, there's so many tropes in it. Like, yeah, but there's tropes in every story. That's why they exist, you know?
Yeah, but one of I another thing that I think that it did well is like you really couldn't tell who the bad guy was in the game. You
No,
know,
yeah,
it kept,
because well, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say it keeps like fooling you into thinking, you know, this guy's the bad guy or this guy's the bad guy, or you know, you don't know what this character wants or that character wants. You know.
Yeah, you think Gaff Carrion's the bad guy, then you think Toledo might be that bad guy, then you think August is a bad guy, then you think your brothers are the bad guy, but really it's just one or two group of people
Yeah.
who are manipulating everybody into thinking that they're the bad guys, but Rams is just trying to figure out what's going on.
Yep.
And I love that about the story, and just the zodiac stones, being able to transform them into the monsters and having to kill them. And I still think the Wheatgraph fight is one of the hardest fights in games if you're not prepared for it.
Oh, definitely.
There's a lot to that, the Rio Vane's castle stuff, where everybody's getting massacred, all that stuff is so cool. And I love this, how they're telling the story throughout the game. And oh man, I want to play it now.
Yeah. I've got it on mobile. I can. That's how I played it the last time I played it was on my phone.
If I had an iPad, I'd probably play it, but I don't want to play it on my phone.
Yeah, it works surprisingly well. I mean, there's certainly some obnoxious parts of it, but it plays really well.
How much of a travesty is this game not being on Steam?
I don't know. It's surprising. It's a perfect fit for the Switch too.
Every other Final Fantasy is on Steam
Yeah.
or Switch,
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
this one, honestly, if they put it on consoles and PC, I would own it on my Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and then Steam.
Sure.
I would own it on everything. Just do it.
And I wouldn't blame you one bit.
Oh God, no. But yeah, I mean, I knew that game would get brought up. Is that the top of your list?
Yeah, that was number one.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Yeah, because I mean, still, when you think about strategy RPGs, that's the game I think of.
Yep.
And like you, I don't know if it's even in the top 5 anymore, but it's on my top 10 favorite games of all time list.
Yeah, you keep dropping it.
It's so good. Yeah, I mean, the mystique went out a little bit when I finally beat it for in February a couple years ago.
Yeah, you learned the game is beatable.
It's still because it was this kind of, it was an albatross, but it was also up on this pedestal. I was like, this is a game I cannot seem to beat.
Yeah.
I finally did, but you know, it's still excellent, and it's a game that holds up really well because of the nature of it being a strategy RPG. You know, other than maybe some weird save stuff where you can get yourself stuck permanently, which is what happened to me.
Yeah.
It holds up really well. So
yeah.
the last game I have on my list that we haven't covered yet is XCOM: Enemy Unknown.
Yeah, that's mine too on my last one.
Yeah, it's I mean, that's an excellent game. I mean, I probably would have it on my top 10 if I didn't have so many excellent games on my top 10, but you know, it's an excellent game. I loved every minute of it. RPG stuff, I mean, the interesting thing is naming your characters after your friends and family and trying to protect them through the series of missions. You know, there's upgradable stuff, but the tactical side of it is what makes the game shine. That's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no, the actual abilities aspect of it, where you can upgrade and choose different stuff like that, is a little light. I don't know if XCOM 2 does more with it because I didn't like that one as much, so I didn't play it. But yeah, no, being able to get more attached to your characters because you named them after somebody you know and you don't want them to die, that sort of stuff is cool. And the actual, as you said, because a lot of times you'll go into the battle and you have no idea where the aliens are and you gotta figure it out. That adds a whole different layer to the game, which is really cool too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I got a bunch of honorable mentions too.
Yeah, let's hear 'em.
If you want to get into honorable mentions, I put Banner Saga on there. I've only played the first Banner Saga. I really like the Banner Saga, the first one. I don't know. Uh, I would ideally like to get to Banner Saga 2 and 3 at some point. I like the artwork and the battle system, and the whole like caravan aspect of it is also very cool.
Hmm.
So that's on there. I put the Disgaea series on there.
Yeah.
Disgaea 1 through 5 games I would very much like to get to at some point. I did play the demo for Disgaea 5.
How was that?
It was good.
I
It's
want to play it,
yeah.
but I'm a little intimidated.
There's a lot there, and it's also grindy. It gets very grindy, I guess, towards the end of it. It's also a bit nutty. Doesn't seem like the story matters all that much, but there's a lot of nutty stuff that happens in it. So
You're not meant to understand the story. You're just supposed to actually just play the game, sort
yeah,
of thing.
you're just there for leveling up your characters and stuff and whatnot. So
You're taking the wheel, but you don't know what's going on.
I put Ogre Battle, the Ogre Battle games on here. I played Ogre Battle 64. That's the only one I played, but a lot of the games that were on the best strategy RPG lists were Ogre Battle or Tactics Ogre games.
Yeah.
As I said, the only one I'd actually played is Ogre Battle, and it was good. I don't remember much about it because it was a long time ago at this point. Oh, maybe I think I played a legally backed up emulator version of it.
Yeah, and this one list I'm looking at, Dan, Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together, was topped Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So, yeah.
Does it say what system that was on?
I think it was on um PlayStation Portable.
Hmm.
Came out 97.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wait, that can't be right.
It might, if it was on PlayStation initially, it could have come out in '97.
It looks older. Hold on, let me look.
Okay. Let's see. I put Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle on there. That was actually one I really wanted to get in my top 5, but I didn't end up being able to squeeze it in there. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is it distills the strategy RPG stuff down to its bare bones, but it's also a really fun game. It feels really fair. We talked about the RNG sometimes, how it bites you in the butt in games like Fell Seal or XCOM. But Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle always felt fair with its hitting and all that stuff. And it was also surprisingly challenging, especially towards the end. So
Yeah, it got harder. 95, Dan.
okay,
Came out on PlayStation Portable,
gotcha.
all the good stuff.
Nice. Last on my list was Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is an excellent game that I need to get back to because I have, I think, like 30 something hours played on my Switch version of Darkest Dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a unique one in that you're more managing the mental health of your characters than anything else as you delve deeper and deeper into these crazy, like, scary dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. Art style's amazing. So good.
I want to give that game another go. It's been a really long time since I played it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to chew there, but it's good stuff. Do you have any honorable mentions, Will?
I was gonna give Fell Seal a little love.
Fell Sail, yep.
I think that game came out of the indie realm and kind of really took the world by storm there for a little bit, being pretty much the truest Final Fantasy Tactics like game we've gotten within the last 10 years, probably, since the Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced games. That was a very, very awesome game, and wanted to give it a little shout out. I know we talked about it a lot. I don't know when it came out, when we played it in April, but
Yep.
or May or one of those, but great game.
Absolutely. Well, I can't wait till that comes out on the Switch. I am gonna buy it and play it that way.
Definitely.
Okay. Oh, I wanted to mention Pillars of Eternity too. That's another
Yep.
honorable mention of mine. That the game that I really liked. Haven't played Pillars of Eternity 2. I will at some point. And that's everything. So yeah, that's our coverage of our favorite strategy RPGs. Fire Emblem Three Houses can't come out soon enough.
I know.
I'm pumped for it. So okay. Nibblebits. Will, what do you got for Nibblebits?
Yeah. So my first one, Dan, is that this is one for me, really, that I probably only care about, but the Xbox One's getting a new controller. It's a purple version, and I think it looks really cool.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It's out right now for the Fortnite Special Edition controller for the World Cup between the 26th and 28th, but it's going to be going on sale starting September 17th. I hate how pricey these controllers are though because it's $65.
Oh wow, yeah,
So, that's pricey. I hate how expensive console controllers have become.
yeah.
My next one is another Xbox One home screen is coming soon. If you're a Xbox like insider or whatever that program is, you'll be getting it at some point this week. If not, you'll have to wait until the fall. Doesn't look too different, but some things have changed here and there. I think the Xbox One's gone through the most interface changes because
Yeah.
Sony's hasn't changed once, but
No.
um,
Well, Xbox's is by far the worst. So.
oh, it's awful. Very terrible. My next one is the PlayStation Store is having a summer sale going on right now. There's a ton of games on sale. Of course, the one game that I was looking to get was Spider-Man is not on sale. But 442 games and add-ons in total are on sale, and it'll run till August 20th. So you got a
Nice.
long time to check out some stuff. Some of them aren't crazy, but some of them are pretty good deals overall. Um, My last one is Super Mario Maker 2 is upping its course upload limit to 64. Um, I don't know, it was 32 before, so now it's 64. Um, yeah.
That's good. My son will like that. He's made a lot of courses. I've still only made 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I haven't made any more since, but yeah, he's uploaded quite a few. He's probably got 20 levels. If I had to
Holy
guess.
crap.
Yeah.
I think they're going to up it one more time after, too.
Oh, okay.
So, you'll have that to look forward to.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, some people that's why they get Mario makers to make courses, you know.
Definitely.
So that's good. It's good for them.
That's it for my nibble bits, though, Dan.
Okay. I've got 2 kind of quick nibble bits. The first is that have you heard of Origin computers?
I have not.
They build like gaming computers. It's the company's 10th anniversary this year. And one thing they did, just kind of as a joke, is they made a PC that has an Xbox, a PS4, and a Switch built into it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's called the Big O. Yeah. Apparently the Switch part is mostly unchanged, but the Xbox and the PS4 are all like liquid cooled and all fancy and nice looking.
Really?
Yeah. It's not going to be a
That's
thing.
awesome.
Yeah, it's not going to be a thing for sale, but they just kind of did it for S's and G's.
I wonder how much that would cost.
Probably a lot because it's all custom and whatnot. The PC part of it is an i9 9900K processor with an NVIDIA Titan RTX, 64 gigabytes of RAM, and a 14 terabyte hard drive.
Jeez.
It's also a very cool looking machine, and I would love to have one of those.
I'm gonna look up pictures of this right now.
Yeah, the Big O. So that was my first nibble bit. My second one is that, and I'm actually starting to experience this now too. Joy-Con drift. I don't know if you have any Joy-Con drift at all, Will.
No, but I've been hearing a lot about it.
Yeah, so apparently Nintendo has directed its customer service representatives to fix any Joy-Con drift you're having for free, and also issue refunds for people that have already spent money to fix drifting Joy-Cons. So that's good.
I saw some people were unhappy with the response that Nintendo gave, and I don't know why, because they literally said direct it through our website,
Yeah.
go get it fixed.
Yeah.
But people were unhappy about that, so
Sure. Yeah, no, they're fixing it for free now. Yeah, they actually got sued by somebody. I ended up reading what the law. It's a class action suit. I don't know if that's going to get dropped now because they're fixing them for free or what have you. But it's good because my son's Joy-Cons drift a little bit too. I'll maybe get them fixed at some point. And mine are starting to drift a little bit. The originals on the system that I've had for I guess it's almost 2.5 years now, so it's held up pretty well. I've put a lot of gameplay into that thing. So
Definitely. I mean, the Switch has seen a lot of time for everyone, so I'm not surprised out of every console's controller that one starts to wear first.
yeah, and taking it off and on the rails of the system and putting it in like it does take a little bit more abuse, I think, than like an Xbox controller.
Definitely, definitely.
So
I wish
there's that.
I wish Joy-Cons weren't so freaking expensive.
I know, because I'm tempted to get the new colors when they come out. They look really cool.
Yeah, but man, I don't want to drop $70 right now.
It's 80.
80.
80. I mean, you could get you can get the pink and green Joy-Cons or the red and blue Joy-Cons now for like $68. But the new ones, when they come out, they'll be 80 because people will be buying them left and right.
I'm never gonna have another set of Joy-Cons.
I'm glad I got my second pair when I did.
Yeah.
It was an impulse buy. I woke up like early in the morning and looked at my phone, and I think I even had an Amazon notification like, hey, you can get red and blue Joy-Cons for, I think they were like $65. So I was like, done. Bought them.
The financial decisions, most of the times that I buy things, Dan, are super late at night or super early in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that's when you
Yep.
when you did it.
Amazon had me read. They had me figured out at that point.
They knew. We were like, we'll just let them know that they're slightly on sale.
Yep. Okay. That's it for Nibblebits. Will, how was your week?
It's been good. Really don't think I have anything to add. I've literally been just thinking about playing Fire Emblem this past week. Lost my voice. Don't really know what's going on with that. Working a bunch. Yeah, that's really about it. My life's been pretty boring recently.
Okay. Yeah, things have been a bit crazy. We had a really big heat wave. I mean, probably most of the country did, but a really big heat wave over the weekend. So, we did a lot of swimming over the weekend, and then we had a birthday party that we had to go to at the local park, which was sweltering. Luckily, there was a little bit of a breeze, but it was still sweltering, and chasing around the twins was not a fun thing to do when it was that hot and that little air movement. Because the breeze only came and went. It didn't stick around the whole time. So
yeah, like I work at the hottest part at the restaurant for the most part, like when I'm getting all the food to make sure it's all right, and I could not have been sweating more.
Yeah.
Doing nothing.
Imagine being the cooks.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the worst part of the restaurant. But I literally just had like a fountain in my pants the whole day.
Nice. Mud butt.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Nice. So there's that. I recently bought myself a new fitness band. Fitness band / smartwatch, I guess.
What is it?
It's the Xiaomi Mi Band 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I do. I only got it today, so I'm still putting it through its paces. But I had the Fitbit Charge 2 that was our sister's, and then she gave it to me, and it was starting to not be accurate with its measurements, and it was starting to needed to be charged all the time. So I'm gonna give that to my son. I have to clear it off, and I'll set it up for him. But yeah, it would at nighttime, especially like if I got up to whiz, it would say that's when I went to sleep instead of tracking my entire sleep, because that's the kind of stuff that I use also to remind me to get up and move. But the sleep tracking was always really interesting to me. But it wouldn't say I fell asleep until when I got up to go to the bathroom at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So like it's useless data,
Yeah.
So I was doing a little research, and I read a few reviews on this one, and everything said the hardware is really good. Software could use some work, but that's always something they could fix, or update later with a patch or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it so far. It's also waterproof, which I'm really big on, because I know one of these days I would get in the water would have gotten in the water with my Fitbit on and ruined it. So
Yeah, like the Apple Watch I have, like it's a first series, so it's super old and it's not waterproof. So
Mm,
like if it's raining out and like I'm outside for whatever reason walking somewhere, I'm screwed.
yeah,
So water resistant and waterproof are key.
yeah, absolutely. Um, but yeah, so far so good. Like I said, I've only it was only 30. It only was $36 too,
Steel.
which isn't bad. But I like it so far. It's also got a nice color face, which is cool. So
I'm a big fan of wearable technology.
yeah, yeah, and I never thought I would be, but I like having the time on my wrist of all
Hmm.
things. Because I don't keep my phone on me all the time. It's I'll leave it on the counter or it's charging or what have you. So, and my son always, I don't know why, asks what time it is,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want a guess. He needs the exact time. So he'll ask me what time it is. I'll be like, it's 3:30. He's like, no, but what time is it really? I'm like, it's 3:33. 3:30 is close enough. But yeah, he needs to know the exact by to the minute what time it is.
Now he's gonna
So
always know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
The only time I don't wear my anything like that is over the summertime actually, and it's only because I don't like having the tan line
oh yeah,
on my wrists.
I've got one of those definitely.
Everyone I know has them, and I'm like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah.
know why it's stupid, but
No, I don't blame you one bit. Um. So yeah, I'll keep everyone posted on my thoughts on it, and that's all for my week. Kind of boring, kind of crazy. No,
yeah,
just nothing to share here. Really,
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. It's just like nothing really
nothing interesting, I should
that
say.
nothing that people who just listen to this would care about,
Right.
you know.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So then let's get into what we played. Will, what do we want to talk about first?
I'll briefly mention Persona. I played a little bit more, close to an hour today, and I got really into it. The
Oh,
game's
nice.
I want to play more, and it sucks that I like started playing it right before Fire Emblem because
Sure.
this game's crazy. I finally got to the first like combat scenario where you're doing some fighting and you meet some people and like get to interact with some different characters, and I was like, man, this game's pretty cool. And I actually heard that the new Fire Emblem is Persona like, so
Oh, okay.
if there is some things like similar between these two games, man, it's gonna be quite the game. But the story's still very out there to me. I don't know what's going on because it's like flashing forward to present and then going back in the past and going back and forth a little bit. So like trying to keep everything straight and like you're basically telling the story. For the gist of it is you went to school in one area, you got into a little trouble, you got tagged with some assault charges and had to transfer schools to a new place, and that's why you're in this area. And you're kind of like a delinquent in a new area, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is the delinquent new kid," but you're not though, and like trying to convince people you're not, and it's a very interesting dynamic with everybody, and like obviously none of the teachers like you because they think you're a troublemaker.
Hmm.
Um, so I was really getting into that. I might play a little bit more tonight when I get home after recording this. So that I've been playing that. I've been playing a little bit of Final Fantasy 15 too. I've probably put 4 hours into that game. Again, that game's like soul food to me. I love
Hmm.
it. It's a good game to return to pass some time. Doing some hunts, doing some camping, fishing. Remembering Prompto taking pictures after each day is another thing I really like about it too. That's a fantastic game. I know it's going to go on the back burner for quite a while here, coming soon. Because once Fire Emblem's out, and by the time I get through that, I'm going to have Persona, and then Astral Chain, and then it's going to be the new Zelda. It's going to
Yeah, the
be the new Call of Duty game.
fall's fairly loaded so far.
And I'm trying to save a lot of money right now, so I'm not going to buy as many games as I wanted as well.
Hmm.
So there's going to be that. So I'm going to really have to make the games that I have here really, really count.
Yeah.
So Um, yeah, my gaming schedule is gonna be pretty booked here for the rest of the year. I don't even think I'm gonna get Death Stranding, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've always been kind of against that game, I feel like this is the quintessential game where everyone's gonna say this is the game to play, and I'm gonna be like, no, stupid.
Yeah.
Like
Game
Red Dead.
game sucks.
Yeah, that's like how I felt the whole way that this game's been announced.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I really don't think I'm gonna get Death Stranding, to be honest. I'm way more interested in The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima or whatever.
I think Ghost of Tsushima is not supposed to come out until next year.
Yeah, so the timeline is Death Stranding, and then The Last of Us 2 is like quarter 1, and then the other one, Ghost of Tsushima, is Q2 or 3.
Okay.
It's gonna be pretty much at the end of the console life cycle for the
Gotcha.
PlayStation 4. So, um, yeah, that's it for me. I'm excited to play some games.
Nice. So yeah, I played quite a bit more Mario Maker 2. So one of the things I decided to kind of do in the game, since I like creating, I just have a hard time sitting down and spending a long time creating levels, especially since mostly I play Mario Maker 2 in bite-sized pieces.
Hmm.
So I decided to really like hunker down in the endless challenge on easy mode, and get my global rank up. And I as of right now, I've beaten 430 levels on endless challenge.
Jeez.
My global rank was it under 7,000? I think it was under 7,000, which is pretty good. It started off at well over 100,000, so I'm pretty happy about that. I can't tell you how many millions of copies that game sold. So to be in the top 10,000, I guess, is a good thing. But I would like to get under 1,000 or under 100 if I could possibly. The problem is if you don't play it for a little bit, it's a treadmill. So I'll be back a few hundred or maybe 1,000, 1,000 on my global rank. So if I want to keep at it, it's something I'm gonna have to just keep playing and keep advancing past the point where I left off. So.
Hmm.
And I don't know if that's going to happen now that Fire Emblem's out. Who really knows, But I did come across something interesting, and I'm not sure if I talked about this last week or not. It's that I keep coming across a level that's the same exact level. It's not the same exact creator. It's the same exact level. And I've seen it probably 5 or 6 times at this point. And I've also seen it in different styles. I've seen it in... Did I talk about this last week? Do you remember, Will?
No, you didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen it in different styles. I've seen it in the Super Mario style, in the Super Mario 3 style, and the new Super Mario Brothers style. And it's an airship level, but it plays the exact same way. It is the exact same thing. And as I said, I've seen it 5 or 6 times. So I'm going to take it upon myself to do some investigation and see if it was a level from the first Mario Maker that a lot of people just liked and copied, or if it, like, I don't know if it was maybe a Reddit thing that started that has a bunch of people making the same level. Because I mean, at this point, there's millions of levels out there.
Yeah.
So why am I seeing the same level? And it's, as I said, it's not the same creator; it's different people. And that's the only one that I've seen multiples of. I've seen levels that are similar to each other, but this is the exact same level. So I'd be interested to see what the origins of that are. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find out. Probably not. But I did copy down the course ID of one of the clones, so I at least have that. So if I can maybe take it to Reddit and see if anyone knows the story there.
You might have the scoop on a major copyright plagiarism
I don't
scandal.
know, and I don't know how that works because some people did copy like the level 1-1 from Super Mario Brothers, or the first level in Super Mario 3. Like, people did just copy that. But yeah, this is a user created level that's just repeated a bunch, and it's weird. So
I wonder if it's a glitch.
I don't know. Maybe it's entirely possible. So that's an interesting thing that I'm going to try to investigate in Mario Maker 2. So I can also send, maybe I'll post it on Twitter, the level that repeats, and see if anyone else has had, because I know we have a feedback actually about Mario Maker, so I know some of our listening audience has played some Mario Maker, so maybe they can help solve the mystery. So there's that one. I've played a bunch more Dr. Mario World. That's another one I play for a few minutes here and there. I'm actually enjoying it for a mobile game. Still haven't spent a dime on it. I haven't needed to. But I'm roughly on level 180 out of 200. I think after I beat the 200 levels or whatever, I'll probably just delete it. I've given up on the versus mode because anyone who's Bowser kicks my butt automatically. So I don't do versus anymore. But yeah, the it's pretty good. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah. I've been considering giving Animal Crossing Pocket Camp some time, but I haven't been considering Dr. Mario yet.
Okay.
Is it worth it, you think?
I think so. It's a puzzle game. Like if you play Dr. Mario, you get the gist. But there's like a lot of levels, a lot of challenge. So I like it.
Puzzle games usually scare me though.
Yeah, I could see that. I actually had considered doing top puzzle games for this week's episode, but I figured strategy RPGs is a little bit more appropriate.
Yeah. Portal.
So Portal is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
The first person between I like the first person puzzle games the most. It would probably be between like Portal 2 and Talos Principle for like my favorite puzzle game.
Did you play The Witness?
No, I didn't play The Witness. I don't think I would like that one as much because it's third or first person, but then you walk up to like line puzzles. Like it's not interacting with the environment at all. It's just
okay. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
But I do have it and I will play it. I just don't know if I'll like it as much as Talos Principle and Portal.
Though, because The Witness is one of those games that, out of all the games that I look back on through this podcast, it's the one game that I wish I liked more.
Oh, okay. You didn't
because
care for
it? Because I'm bad at puzzles and trying to figure out the rules that each like area has, and like I don't know, maybe I'd be better at it now because it came out like 5 years ago at this point or whatever. But yeah, no, I was never good at it, so I never really enjoyed it. But I always wish I liked it more because I thought it was a really cool game.
Sure. And then last but not least, I played a little bit of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Booted up my master mode save. It's so good. That game is so good. And I can easily get lost in playing it for hours. I think I maybe only played it for an hour, but oh man. I want to start all over again from the beginning and play through it, the entirety of it, not take my sweet time. I'm not going to. Actually, I might for rated G games. I don't know if I'll start a new playthrough or continue my rated G games playthrough. Because I'm almost done with Mario Maker for now on there, so maybe I'll do Breath of the Wild. I thought about playing A Link to the Past too, as one of my next games to revisit some old Zelda.
I was gonna say, Dan, it might be a good game to do early next year, but like we got Final Fantasy Remake, Watch Dogs, Animal Crossing, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I know.
Gods and Monsters.
I want to clear my schedule too for Cyberpunk. I don't want to have anything else, lingering.
Yeah, I mean, look at this run right here. So February 25th, Gods of Monsters. I'm excited for that. Mm-hmm. Then March 3rd, Final Fantasy Remake. March 6th, Watchdog Legions. March 20th, Animal Crossing New Horizons. April 16th, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That's deadly.
That's a lot of stuff. Okay. But yeah, that's all I played. Next week it'll probably be only Fire Emblem, if I had to guess.
Are we gonna try and do an episode on it next week, depending on how much we play?
Yeah, I would like to. If we can get a decent feel for what the game's about, I would like to. Depends on how many hours I can sink into it.
Yeah, same here. I think I'll be able to get a lot in.
Yeah, I should be able to also. All right. Feedback time. We did get some feedback this week, which was nice. Oh, yeah, we got 3 pieces of feedback.
Ooh.
All right. So the first is from Sherman in Utah. He says, and actually this came out, he sent this was it like early Thursday morning maybe? So I didn't read it, obviously, on last week's episode because we recorded on Wednesday. But he says, to the athletes, this is Sherman from Utah listening to your podcast on Mario Maker 2. Made me want to get in there and play some more. I went through and played Dan and Corey's levels. Have to say they were all great. I went ahead and got the fastest time on global warming and tied the fastest on participation trophy. I have to say I was really surprised with the polish on Corey's level. I can't imagine how long it took him to make it. Totally agree. Corey's, the one where the space elevator's getting invaded. That's probably the most polished Mario Maker level I played, period, out of all of them. Oh, there was one other that might have been close, but anyway, playing your levels made me want to create my very first level, my magnum opus in Mario Maker. I spent over a week creating and tinkering to make the level feel perfect. It's a large level to take some skill to beat, but no trolls. Here's the level ID, which actually I wanted to ask your permission, and I'll email this to you. I wanted to ask your permission if I could post your level on our Twitter so other people can play it too. He said, I wanted to make a level that includes everything I love about Mario and everything that makes it great. I'd also love to hear what you think of it. Also, I'm super excited about Fire Emblem Three Houses. I lose my PTO at the end of the month, so I'm taking the 26th and 27th off to play it. Thanks for the weekly entertainment and have a great week. Sherman in Utah. So I did play his level later on that morning, I think, after I read this, and it was quite good. It was very, very challenging. The wall jumping part was challenging for me, and then the puzzle with the with the seesaw thing was also challenging for me, Sherman. So, but I did like your level, and I would like your permission to post it on our Twitter if I can. As I said, I'll email you the question. I actually wanted to email it to you early in the week, but I just can't remember things. So, but yeah. That was Sherman in Utah.
Sherman, let us know what house you pick.
Yeah, definitely let us know that. And it's good to hear from Sherman. We haven't heard from Sherman in a while. So next up is Tate, who says, "Sup peeps? Hope you all are doing well. So life has been a little crazy because I'm taking master's classes, working full time, coaching football, and I got hired as a science teacher at a junior high about a month ago, and I've been getting my class all set up and everything. So it has been insanely busy for me. I'm really excited to start teaching, and I'm sure Val could vouch for the profession. Besides being crazy, insane busy, I've had quite a bit of time on the weekends to play games, and over the past few weeks, I've been putting about 30 or so hours into my fourth playthrough of The Witcher 3. I have Audible, so I listen to all the Witcher books in preparation for the Netflix series that come out this year. By the way, did you see the trailer for it? Looks pretty decent, I'm not going to lie. I'm glad I listened to the book, so now I know all the backstory. It makes the playthrough of The Witcher 3 even better because I understand everything and the importance and backstory of Ciri and her relationship with everyone. It's awesome. I'm also making it my goal to 100% complete the game this time through, hitting every single question mark on the map and completing every quest. In 30 hours, I haven't even gone to Skellige yet, and I have about half of Velen done. It's a massive game, and I forget how massive it is every time I play it. I still recommend playing through the DLC sometime they're amazing. Also, the last few months, my wife and I watched Game of Thrones in its entirety, and holy shit. Wow is all I have to say. That show is one of the greatest of all times for sure, or the greatest of all time, if you will, or GOT, if you will. Other than that, if not much else is happening, so thanks again for continuing this awesome podcast and being awesome yourselves. Taterade out. Oh, thanks, Tate.
I have a question for Tate.
Okay.
How do you stay motivated to do that much?
That is a lot of stuff.
Me and my friends were talking Monday at dinner how to stay motivated because for the life of us, we cannot stay motivated for more than like 25 minutes.
To do something.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, do you just sack up and do it?
Yeah,
I'm always interested to hear people who can take on that much, just like can do it. I don't know. It's crazy to me.
Well, I mean, we're not naturally motivated to begin with, so.
No.
Yeah, I've always said, why do now what you can put off until later? You know,
that's a good point.
Kind of my motto.
But yeah, it just blows my mind hearing how much he's doing and still finds time for the things he likes to do.
Yeah, to play that much with The Witcher.
Yeah, right.
Amazing game, by the way. I will not take anything away from The Witcher. I'm probably gonna buy it when it comes out on Switch, just so I can play it mobile, on the go, if you will. And again, I would, as much as I would love to play, I don't want my computer to explode and not work on me anymore. So
Yeah.
also, great idea on listening to the Witcher books on Audible. I'm gonna do that too because the series is. I think he said it's supposed to come out this year. I did watch the trailer; it looks fantastic. I'm very excited for that, and I do know that it's based on the books and not the games. They did say that. They said they have no intention of adapting the games either. So, yeah, that's a great idea. I'm gonna do that because I can't read. I can't sit down. I can't sit down and read a book as much as I would like to. I just can't. I would probably fall asleep in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I can't believe people like actively read on their free time.
Yeah, I would love to if I had that much free time, but I've got a few minutes here and there, and it's hard to settle into a good book when you've got a few minutes here and there of free time.
Yeah, if I have free time, I'm laying there doing nothing or playing a video game.
Yeah, I try to squeeze in video games when I have a little bit of free time, but
Yeah.
audiobooks I can do because a lot of times I like to listen to something with one earbud in when I'm like loading the dishwasher or whatever, and I always whenever I'm mowing the lawn, will have an audiobook playing, so that's a good idea. Let's see what else. Oh, Game of Thrones. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Game of Thrones. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the last season. The last season was very controversial, but me and my wife, for the most part, loved it. It wasn't perfect, but we did like it. And I think that's everything. So that was from Tate. So thank you, Tate. Next is from Idaho Jake, who says, "Hey guys, I will take the second game in my 5 to pick from because I forgot to re-listen to my picks. But for now, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. This game is exactly what you want from this game. It is fun and has some RPG elements. I'm playing solo and with my kids, and it's cool because they have a heroic or friendly difficulty. But from what I heard, there is a harder difficulty after you beat it. I like the story and the characters are fun. I think this is such a fun game solo and with friends. I highly recommend it. Well, back to work and have a great night." Idaho Jake. Thanks, Jake. It's nice that the kids. Oh, Beardless says The Witcher show looks like it's condensing the first 2 books, so you'll be fine for the first season if you can get through those. Perfect. I will do that. I'll have to figure out when it's coming out, though. I think Tate said later this year, so I should be able to listen to the Witcher books by then. I don't know that they're too awful. You know what? I'm gonna look up and see how long they are right now, while we're on the subject. But yeah, it's nice having couch co-op built in with family members. It's good stuff. As someone who likes playing video games with their kids. The Witcher. The Last Wish is 10 hours and 17 minutes. That's not bad at all. Blood of Elves is 10 hours and 55 minutes. Also not bad. Sword of Destiny is 12 hours and 48 minutes. Time of Contempt is 11 hours. So they're not bad. They're between 10 and 12 hours. Let's see. Baptism of Fire is, yeah, they're all about 10 to 12 hours. So that's cool. That's definitely doable. So most of the audiobooks I have are like 50 hours. So, anywho, it's coming out in August? I hope not. I won't have time for that.
Hey Dan, you don't have much time, do you?
No, I won't get through it at that point. Well, let me see if it. The Witcher. Netflix. Netflix date. I'm seeing 2019. Q4 2019. So we shall see. Oh, the first 2 books are The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny. They're short story collections. Okay. Yeah, that'll be perfect. I could definitely do that. Yeah, Jake, you just made it for feedback. All right, let's do the game giveaway, shall we?
Yar.
Yarp.
1 through 3 and numero uno.
Number 1 is Sherman.
Sherman.
Sherman is the winner chicken dinner.
Welcome back, and you win.
Yeah. Let's call it the game list.
I don't know. Yeah, the game list. What is it, 1 through 150 still?
Yeah, with a few blanks in there. And I will send out Jake's second game. I'll have to see which one that is.
My first one is 39.
Hold on.
You're good.
Sherman. First game is 39, which is Flat Heroes.
Next.
Jake, the second game is Rise, Son of Rome. So I will send that out to you. Let me highlight it. So I remember. Go ahead, Will.
Next is 113.
113. Oh, come on. My stupid cord from my earbuds keeps getting in my way.
That's annoying.
139, you said?
Yeah, 113.
113. 113 is Tower of Guns.
All right. Next is 56.
56 is gone. Roll again.
Next is 63.
63. Fidel Dungeon Rescue. Don't know anything about that one.
13.
13 is Contagion. A couple more copies of that.
One more game, right?
Yep.
120.
120 is Symphony.
All right.
So,
That's not too bad.
Your choices are Flat Heroes, Tower of Guns, Fidel Dungeon Rescue, Contagion, and Symphony. So let us know what you want. We will send that out to you. Jake, I will send out your game as soon as we finish here, which is Rise, Son of Rome. Tito's also got games. He's got Beyond Eyes, Mirror's Edge, Fidel Dungeon Rescue, Starseed Pilgrim, and Thoth. So let us know what you want from there. Thoth. Not sure what Thoth is. Sounds like you're saying sauce with a lisp.
That's definitely the game that should be picked.
So yeah, next week's episode we would ideally like to do Fire Emblem. If we can get it, I would like if I can get like 30 hours in before next week, which is definitely doable. I think that's enough for me to do an episode on it. It'll also probably depend on if Corey's gonna get it, and I think Eric expressed interest in getting it too. So
I think Eric said he was.
okay, yeah, I know. Yeah. I know he wanted to do. Oh, I don't know if you talked about this, but the Walmart deal. Walmart's doing physical editions of Fire Emblem in store only for $50. So if you are going to get a physical copy, that's the route to go. I'm actually getting mine digital. I probably will mostly only get physical copies for stuff me and my son are gonna share, so we don't have to share a Switch. Just share the cartridge.
What house is Max gonna pick?
I don't know. I don't know. He'll play it someday, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. He's gonna see that case and be like, "Dad, what's this?" Nothing.
Yeah. So that's everything, right?
Yeah, that's all I got.
I got nothing else. So that'll do it for episode 418 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Will.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.